Welcome along everyone to the FIFA main event where today DUX Gravesen takes on Red Bull Leipzig Anders, brought to you by PlayStation Tournaments. Here we go then, another episode of FIFA main event with two competitors going head to head. My name's Kyle Walker and I'm joined by Lisa Manley. Lisa, it's great to have you here, and we've got two competitors, as I said, going head to head. Both of them, well, one of them I should say, a heavyweight in FIFA esports. But for Anders, he's new to the scene, but we all know what he's been able to do online.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, like you mentioned, they're both great players. Anders new to the scene, but he's the one that's being spoken about the most because he's so young. Last year, obviously, went unbeaten in FUT Champs, the most amount of wins ever. Gravesen's been in the game for a while, so will his, I guess, age in the scene and being able to be composed and stuff like that help him? We'll soon find out.
We soon will find out indeed. It seems in the opening 6 minutes, end to end, both of them trying to figure out each other as they go head to head. Gravesen there looking for that through ball, but it is Anders who manages to pick it up. Cancelo plays it across to Ronaldo. CR7 with that one, but it is Gravesen who manages to snuff out that attack. Hullet plays it across. Can Gravesen cause any upsets here? Back to Hullet, picks it up in the centre. We've all seen what he's been able to do. Gravenberch picks that one up. Messi over on that right side, puts that ball in. That finesse shot, oof, very close. And Lisa, some would say that that was a little bit adventurous, but we've seen them go in before.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously, it's Messi. He's like the finesse shot king as such, and on that, obviously left-footed he is. And whenever you get him in a position on that left foot, you've got to try and block it because otherwise it could potentially go in. And a great shot there, like you said, is a bit, I guess, unnecessary in aspects. Obviously, you might lose the ball and then you might counter like this. But if it goes in, you know, you're laughing because it's green time as well. So the chance of it going in is more likely.
Well, it didn't on that occasion, but will we see more of those throughout this matchup? It is Gravesen who picks up the ball, sprays it across to Neymar. He is tackled by Hakimi just there, cross to Messi. Puts that ball in, but once again, Gravesen picking that up, plays it through that middle to Hullet, doesn't manage to get it. It is picked up by Kante to Mbappe, puts that ball in. Will we see that first goal? Yes, we will. And it is R9 Ronaldo. Gravesen reacting there with some tears. Anders look at that little wry smile he gives to the camera right there. Lisa, what did you make of that goal?
Yeah, it's a great goal. Sort of pick the ball up in the middle of the park and then free ball it straight to R9 and in them positions. And like you see as well, he's got prime R9. Majority of these players, because of budget and stuff like that, they have 94, but he's got the prime version. And in them positions, he's whipping it into the top corner every single time. And as you saw there, a great finish. And I guess, is this what we expected? Obviously, Vejrgang being one of the best in the scene at the moment, especially youngsters, and Gravesen being the best from where he's came from. So obviously, like, he's been in the scene for quite a while, and I think with his experience, maybe he can come back into this game, but who knows?
Well, we'll see if he can do that. Gravesen is on the attack with Neymar. Puts it back across, though, into the centre to Hullet. Mbappe picks it up back to Hullet. Can he find that space? He tries with Neymar. Will he put the ball across? Oh, it goes out for a goal kick. One skill move too many. Lisa, we've seen that plenty of times where you're trying to link multiple skill moves, but sometimes you can just do one too many. It doesn't go in your favour.
Yeah, exactly that. But I mean, in general, you got to try and be, I guess, unpredictable and try and do as many skill moves to put off your opponent. Obviously there, like you mentioned, he done one too many. Maybe he could have tried to pull it into the box a little bit earlier, or maybe just try to do one skill moves or none at all, because sometimes people don't expect it, but there's quite a big chance here for Anders. But yeah, nothing happens.
It doesn't indeed. Gravesen is still searching for that equaliser. Can he find it? Just over the bar. A cheeky shot as he saw the keeper over his line. Will we see more of those? 30 in-game minutes gone, 15 left in this first half. It is Red Bull Leipzig Anders taking on DUX Gravesen. It is currently 1-0 to Anders. He looks to double his lead, but Hakimi there for Gravesen manages to stop that attack. Now, Lisa, when we're seeing these two players, what we've seen over the last year especially... Oh, let me stop as we see Gravesen looking to great defending. Anders brings out his keeper just there. As I was saying, we've seen with Anders that he's managed to captivate, to pull together an online audience as he did what he did last season. He tweeted a couple of weeks ago, 140 FUT Champions wins. Here we go again. This is a youngster that has taken the scene by storm, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do on the competitive level now as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously, we all know FUT Champs is definitely completely different to playing in an online qualifier, whether that be LAN or online. Obviously, I guess the players are a lot better. You're playing pros every single game, whereas in FUT Champs, majority of the time, you only match around 2 pros, if that. So obviously, it's completely different. But we've seen him sort of play in these, I guess, community cups, and he's basically won most of them anyway. So I think it'll be interesting to see how he does. And will we see, I guess, a Tex number 2 in terms of winning back-to-back LANs?
Well, we'll see if he can do that this season. Still 1-0. He's faring quite well against DUX Gravesen, a pro player who's been there. He's been on the scene. He's got all of the experience. Can Anders make it 2? Oh, comes close. Manages to get another shot off, but brilliantly defended just there. Will this be the last attack of the half, possibly for Gravesen? And that concludes that first half, 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig Gaming's Anders just there. He's taking on DUX Gaming Gravesen as these two go head-to-head here at FIFA main event. Right, let's have a look then at some of those half-time stats just here. Lisa, what did you make of that first half? These two going head-to-head. It did seem that it was, well, balanced, I would say, except for that scoreline.
Yeah, it's a very, very balanced game. Obviously, Anders getting that early goal, but as you see here, 3 shots both. Anders obviously having the expected goals a little bit higher than Gravesen. He obviously has got a goal, but in terms of passes, they both had similar passes. Tackles one, Gravesen a little bit higher, but in total, as you can see, dribbles success there for Anders a lot higher than Gravesen. But in general, it's very, very close game. To be honest with you, pass accuracy is a little bit low for both of these. Normally in these sort of games, you expect higher pass accuracy because if you do lose the ball, then you're likely to concede from it. So it's normally around 94, 95, but they're both great players. They're both just trying to get as many goals as possible. And will we see a couple of goals in this next half?
Let's see if we will, as Gravesen gets the second half underway. He's searching for that equaliser. Will he manage to find it? 3 shots each it was for our players in that first half. Will they be able to score more goals though? Will we see more? Will they go all out attack? And I think we can hear from those players just now, and I'll be hoping to speak to them as Gravesen searches for that equaliser. Grav, what is happening? Talk to me. How are you managing to not find this equaliser?
I mean, I trusted in Hakimi's double tap, but it was a bit non-effective. But I still trust my team. Gravenberch is doing awesome stuff in the moment, but I can't seem to stop R9.
All right, okay, there we are. Anders once again looking for a second. He's looking to double his lead. The corner comes in. He swings that ball in. Will he be able to find it? He searches that pass. It's snuffed out by Hullet. Put back there to Yashin. Oh, but a mistake from Gravesen. Gives the ball back to Anders. Ronaldo. Oh, a great save by Yashin. Just there. I think Gravesen, Lisa, he needs to calm down. He's making some mistakes, but that can happen when you're playing against the best players.
Yeah, exactly that. He needs to stay composed. Obviously, he's in a position where he needs to get a goal, and silly mistakes like that can cost you and mean that you're more goals down. So I feel like he needs to stay composed. Maybe take a pause, take a deep breath, and try and recompose, because otherwise he could see himself 2 goals down.
We're already 15 in-game minutes gone in the second half. The score remains 1-0 to the Red Bull Leipzig Gaming team as they take on DUX Gaming here at FIFA main event. Grav is looking for that equaliser. Was that offside? No, it was close. He picks it up though with Messi. He skips across, plays it down. Hullet picks it up again. That attack is stopped just there. He goes again. He's searching for an inch of space, and Anders isn't giving him anything. Lisa, when you're seeing these players, is there anything that you think Grav could do, he could look at to maybe stop this? I'll come back to you. Offside. Oh, it feels like, Lisa, there's plenty happening here in this second half.
It's definitely end to end, and I feel like Gravesen maybe can make a pause, maybe change formation. But to be honest with you, Anders is just playing so well. Every time he loses the ball, he's quick to switch players and make sure he's cutting them passing lanes off, and that's why he's not able to get in behind. But a chance here for Anders, and it's very well defended there. But in general, like I mentioned, Anders defending-wise, he's just on it. Every time Gravesen gets the ball, he doesn't give him an inch of space, and that's why he's winning the ball back so quickly.
He is indeed, as Anders comes through, looking for a second goal to get that cushion, to improve his lead, take the win at FIFA main event. And Gravesen is doing everything he can to find an equaliser. Messi plays it across to Cristiano Ronaldo. He's waiting, he's biding his time, looking for the right pass back to CR7. Cristiano Ronaldo manages with a little bit of luck to pick up the ball back to Messi, as Gravesen is searching for that goal that's going to bring it all square, all level, and Anders just isn't allowing him, cutting off those passing lanes, as Lisa said just there. But Gravesen comes back with Lionel Messi. Now it's to Ashraf Hakimi, back to Gravenberch just here. But Anders giving Gravesen nothing until here. Messi with the ball. Lisa, Gravesen's coming closer and closer, but it feels like every time he's on the attack, Anders just knows exactly what to do.
He definitely knows exactly what to do. As soon as Gravesen gets in around the box, he's got 3 players hovering him, and we get a chance here, and he shoots, and he goes into the back of the net, and as we see there, Gravesen isn't too happy, but he pings it into the top corner, and 2-0. I mean, what can you say about that, Kyle?
Well, what can you say? Indeed, Gravesen, you can see the grimace on his face. He gives a clap to his opponent right now. 10 in-game minutes to go. Will he be able to find anything? Anders has held him off for 80 minutes. So DUX Gravesen's got it all to do. A moment of magic is needed, and then another one, or 2 mistakes from Anders. Lisa, that's something that I've noticed with Red Bull Leipzig's Anders. From watching his gameplay, he hardly makes mistakes, which makes it much more difficult for his opponent to capitalise on anything.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I feel like when you're in a winning position as well, you don't normally make mistakes. Normally that happens when you're in a losing position, because you've got to try and go forward, and sometimes you sort of miss pass in positions. And we saw that earlier with Gravesen at 1-0 when he almost gave a easy goal to Anders on the edge of the box. But as you saw there, the goal flying in the back of the net, pretty sure it was prime R9 again. And we've seen some changes here from Gravesen. He's got to go all out attack. He's got to go constant pressure, all players in behind. And with that, maybe through at the back as well, and that could also make him concede more goals, because he's just got to go forward, send the sink, as they say.
Throw that sink at it, find something in the dying moments of this game. Varane manages to stop the attack, puts that ball across, but once again, that pass is found. It's stopped by Anders, but we do have a free kick here. Varane puts it across to Hullet, who finds Cancelo to Gravenberch, finds Chiesa. No, he doesn't manage to. Anders manages to stop that attack. He's back on the attack. Ronaldo to Mbappe. Mbappe, I thought it was skipped around Yashin, but it isn't. Who plays it to Bailly, then to Hullet. Manages to find Vinicius Jr., the super sub. I was interviewing plenty of pros over the weekend, Lisa, talking to them. They all said Vinicius Jr. was their super sub. So, I mean, what makes him so special in the dying moments of the game, Lisa?
For me, it's got to be his pace. He's dribbling, 5-star skill moves. You want to do a few skill moves, you can do that. But it's got to be his pace. He's very, very fast, and he's got good dribbling. So just run down that line. You could waste a few minutes with him, and if you need a goal, he can even score for you.
Well, Anders looks like he is trying for a third. He's not giving up. 89th minute, he finds that pass to Ronaldo, to Mbappe, but he is offside. Lisa, it looks like this one is done and dusted. 1 in-game minute added on. It feels like Anders has just been relentless. He's not let Gravesen in at all.
Yeah, it's been a very dominant performance from Anders. I feel like Gravesen didn't really get into the box to even have a great shot on goal, but in general, is a great play from him, and Anders is going to be proud of his performance.
Yes, he can indeed. 2 goals to 0 from Anders, who takes that trophy here against DUX Gravesen. What a performance. Dominant indeed. You can see the smile on Anders' face. Gravesen shakes his head with a smile as well. Incredible stuff. That's all from us here on FIFA Main Event, presented by PlayStation Tournaments. Be sure to like and subscribe for more EA FIFA esports content.